Hi friends, before I begin this video, I just wanted to let you know that I have some resources linked down below in the description to help the victims of the LA fires, especially Black families who have lost their homes. So if you've been looking for ways to help the people in LA, but you're not in LA and you can't physically be there to volunteer or bring donations, then hopefully this will be a good jumping off point to help if you're able to help. Also, I would like to ask if any of you who are watching have any resources to help specifically people in LA who are disabled or homeless. I personally haven't seen anything like specifically targeted for the disabled and homeless people in LA in terms of resources, at least circulating online. So if you guys have seen anything, I would really appreciate it if you put those links down below in the comments. My heart absolutely goes out to everyone in LA who has either died or lost their homes, their businesses, their communities, and I hope that everyone continues to remain safe. Wear your masks if you are in LA because there's a lot of ash and chemicals in the air. And again, my heart goes out to you all. And again, I hope you all just stay safe. Hello friends, what's up? It's Jaime here. Welcome back to another Fangirl Fridays video. These are the videos where I make all of my favorite things everyone else's problem. And today I actually have an excuse for the lighting being bad because I'm on my period, and trying to get myself to film today has been such a struggle because my body was like, you know what, the blood and the cramps, that's not enough. Here's a headache, like a massive fucking headache, and some vertigo too. Just thrown in there just for funsies. So that's been great. And my body hates me today. So trying to film has been very difficult, but it's okay. We're here now. Anyway, in today's video, I'm covering another iconic, beloved animated show that literally everyone else in the world has seen, and I am incredibly late to it. The first time I did this was when I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time and made a video about that, and today it's Gravity Falls. Although with Avatar: The Last Airbender, I feel like I have a little bit more of an excuse because I was literally 3 when the show originally came out, so I was a bit too young for it. Granted, that doesn't really give me an excuse for waiting another 18 years before I finally watch the show, but you know what, that's neither here nor there. I can't really use the same excuse for not having seen Gravity Falls because the show ran throughout my preteen years. Like, I was the perfect age to get into this show, and I didn't. For some reason, it just passed me by. I genuinely cannot come up with a good reason for why I haven't watched Gravity Falls sooner, especially because around that time, like with the things that I was already super into, like Steven Universe and Five Nights at Freddy's and Undertale and AFMAO, like it wasn't as if I had never heard of Gravity Falls, like I just wasn't aware of its existence. Of course I did. How could I not? It's an iconic show. So no, I don't have a good reason to excuse my blasphemy, but last year I was finally like, you know what? This has gone on long enough. I need to watch this show. And I did. I binged it in 6 days and I loved every minute of it. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I knew that I was gonna love this show, which is why it's still so crazy to me that it took me this long to finally sit down and watch it, because I knew I was gonna love it. It has incredible characters, a great story, cool mysteries, it's animated, the voice acting is incredible, it has good music, like literally this like this kind of show is exactly what I look for when I'm like looking for new things to watch. Like, this has, like, it checks all the boxes, and for some reason my dumbass waited this long to finally watch it. But regardless of me being silly and dumb for waiting so long, I have finally watched it and I loved it. So in today's video, I'm going to go through all the reasons why I love Gravity Falls, and then also just like what my general like thoughts are and hopes, predictions are for the future of this franchise post Book of Bill. So without further ado, let's get into it. One of the best things about getting into Gravity Falls has been bearing witness to the incredibly talented human that is Alex Hirsch. Even before I watched Gravity Falls, I have been a longtime fan of Alex. I have so much respect for him as a creator. I immediately had instant respect for him when he shared that video on Twitter of the compilation of him fighting against the Disney censors. Oh my gosh. First of all, that video is just very funny, but obviously, like, it's not funny in the sense of the fact that Alex had to deal with so much bullshit from Disney's S&P, but like, it's very funny how he went about like the act of sharing the video and like basically doing like these dramatic readings of these emails, and oh my gosh, that immediately had my instant respect for him. And just in general, how he's always been very vocal about his criticisms towards Disney, I really admire him for that. And between watching Gravity Falls and The Owl House, my respect for Alex as a creator has only amplified. Like, this man is actually so talented. He is an incredible writer and storyteller. The way that he was able to craft these mysteries for Gravity Falls and put together such an iconic and impactful story and create these beloved and complex and memorable characters will literally never cease to amaze me. The attention to detail for like his whole story for Gravity Falls is literally what I aspire to do as a writer. It's why I have a million fucking Google Docs and journals like documenting every detail for the stories that I write. And even outside of his work on Gravity Falls, Alex is just so involved in the animation world and on various animated projects. I didn't know this until I was looking stuff up for this video, but he was a story contributor for Into the Spider-Verse, and I love that movie, so I think that that's really fucking cool. Not to mention that Alex Hirsch has some serious fucking voice acting chops. This guy, he can voice act. Obviously, he was incredible as Grunkle Stan and Seuss and Bill in Gravity Falls, but he was also King and Hootie in The Owl House, also being a creative consultant for The Owl House. And I will say, out of all of like Alex Hirsch's various voice acting roles, I will probably say that King is my personal favorite. I just love him so much. He was so cute. I mean, I also just really love the character of King, but I think out of all of his various roles, I think that Alex Hirsch's performance as King is definitely my favorite. Also, as a huge Ninja Turtles fan that I am, he is Scumbug in the Mutant Mayhem movie and the Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show, which is just so incredibly iconic to me. Now, I could go on and on about Alex's talents and brilliance, but speaking of voice acting, I've got to shout out some of the other cast of Gravity Falls, because if you've watched enough of my videos, then you know that I am a huge nerd about voice acting and voice actors, and the cast of Gravity Falls is no different. Jason Ritter and Kristen Schaal are like the definition of perfect casting for Dipper and Mabel. Like, it's actually insane how they embody those characters so well. Like, they were meant for those roles. Their performances are so good. I can't get over it. Linda Cardellini is fantastic as Wendy. I love Linda. I'm a big fan of hers. I loved her in the live action Scooby-Doo movies and in Legally Blonde. And then, of course, J.K. Simmons as Ford was just incredible. I actually watched The Legend of Korra for the first time not too long after I finished Gravity Falls, so getting to hear J.K. Simmons as both Ford and Tenzin was very fun. The guy has a really good, like, really cool voice. I haven't watched Invincible yet, but I do plan on doing so this year. But I've heard and like seen clips of him as Omni-Man, and it just makes me so excited because his performance, from the little bits that I've seen, is so good. Like, he is so talented. I also have to shout out my favorite side character in Gravity Falls, Sheriff Blubs. I love him so much, especially because he is voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, which, in case you don't know, Kevin Michael Richardson, he has a very extensive voice acting career, but my personal favorite role of his that he has done is the Shredder in the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, which, in case you don't know, is my absolute favorite show of all time. Like, oh my god, his performance as Shredder is so fucking iconic and good in that show. I love it so much. I'll literally never be over it, ever. And it's just so funny to me, like, the duality of his roles as Shredder and then Blubs, two vastly different characters. Like, truly Kevin Michael Richardson, a man who can do both. The character writing combined with the voice acting performances is why these characters have become so iconic and beloved by so many people. It's very easy to see that. And one of my favorite things that I have seen as a new fan, and I imagine that this is largely due to the resurgence of the Gravity Falls fandom post Book of Bill, but I've seen a lot of artists on Instagram in the past couple of months posting time skip designs and sometimes even time skip comics, and I just really loved seeing all of those. I've seen a bunch of them because I love seeing everybody's like different interpretations of like what these characters would look like aged up and what they would be up to if there was like another installment of the Gravity Falls universe, like where we would pick back up with them and like what their lives would look like, how have they changed and whatnot. And I just think it's so fun seeing again like everybody's puts like their own spin on it, and it's so cool, and the designs look really great. Like I've seen so many different designs and they all look fantastic. Like if you showed me any of those designs and just like told me like, yeah, this is like literally any of them, like this is Gravity Falls season 3, I would believe you because they all just look so good. Moving on to my personal favorites from Gravity Falls, favorite character, favorite episode, favorite season, for anyone who is curious. Starting with my favorite character. Obviously, I love so many of the Gravity Falls characters. They're all so unique and well crafted. But if I absolutely had to choose who my favorite character, or I guess in this case, favorite characters are, it's genuinely a tie between Seuss and Mabel. I just adore them both so much. They're just so silly and sweet, and I love how being soft is like such a strength for both of them. Like yeah, they're a little ditzy at times and maybe not the most analytical, book smart people ever, but they're so loyal and dedicated to the people they love, and I just love that so much about them. Seuss and Mabel have equally made my heart so warm and fuzzy while also having just some of the most gut-wrenching moments in the whole series. Like the episode about Seuss's dad and the moment where Mabel reaches her breaking point and she makes the deal with Bill. Oh my god, those moments, they devastated me, and they made me want to fight Alex Hirsch for hurting my babies who deserve nothing but good things. They're such sweeties, but they can also fight and stand their ground when the situation calls for it, and I literally cannot get over how much I love both of them. Also, Mabel has fantastic taste in sweaters, and I would like to own every single sweater that she wears in the show. They're all so cute and fun and colorful. Like truly she has like the dream closet, and I desperately need it. My favorite episode of Gravity Falls has to be A Tale of Two Stands. The reveal of Ford in the previous episode is just so iconic, and I love getting to see like the backstory of the brothers and how they interacted when they were younger, and also like the first little bits of Bill and Ford's like history. It's just such a great episode. And lastly, my favorite season of Gravity Falls is season 2. I mean, obviously, it goes without saying that both seasons of the show are so fucking good, but season 2 has like all of my favorite episodes, like A Tale of Two Stands, Weird Mageddon, Blendon's Game, Northwest Mansion Mystery, just to name a few. And this season also just had some of my favorite character moments and scenes from the entire show. So again, while I absolutely adore season 1, I think that I have to go with season 2 as like my favorite overall. Alright, to round out this video, I of course have to talk about the Book of Bill, the Bob, if you will. Obviously, it's been like this huge driving force behind this like resurgence of Gravity Falls and the Gravity Falls fandom within the latter part of this past year, and it's honestly been a huge reason like why I was motivated to watch Gravity Falls last year, because I saw that people were absolutely losing their minds over it. I have still yet to acquire the Book of Bill for myself, working on that, but I've watched all of the Film Theory and GT Live videos of Matt, Pat, and Lee talking about the various secrets and Easter eggs, including the Matt Pat Easter egg for This Is Not a Website, which was just so fun. I'm so obsessed with the like construction of the Book of Bill. Again, Alex Hirsch truly never ceases to amaze me with his talents and his versatility, because my tiny brain could not even begin to wrap my head around like some of these puzzles and ciphers that are in this book. Like, how do you come up with all of those? Like, I'm genuinely asking Alex, like, how, like, what is that process? How does, like, what does that entail? Like, I wish I could come up with puzzles like that. I just feel like that requires so much brain power that I simply do not have. You can really tell that Alex put so much thought into this book, and I'm just like, damn, we are so lucky to be living at the same time as Alex Hirsch. Like, the Book of Bill is a perfect example of a writer who knows their character like the back of their hand, and I only hope to be a fraction of the writer that Alex Hirsch is in my own career. Obviously, with the Book of Bill and This Is Not a Website, there's been a lot of speculation amongst the fandom about what's in store for the future of Gravity Falls, if there's going to be another season or a movie or something. Like I mentioned before, I've seen a lot of people making time skip designs and comics for like a Gravity Falls future kind of thing. But do I think there's going to be a new season or movie or new installment within the Gravity Falls universe? Well, as a new fan, I only just got here. So I'm trying to keep my expectations low, and also because I honestly do not know. I have no fucking clue. I really don't know one way or the other. I feel like I've seen a lot of compelling arguments for different things, but then again, I feel like the 2 seasons of Gravity Falls are just so good that I kind of don't want them to be touched. Like, I know that a lot of people also share this sentiment, but on the other hand, I also like completely trust that Alex Hirsch, like, if he's like, I have another story to tell within this universe, and he goes ahead with that, like, I'm all for it. But that is only if it gets the Alex Hirsch stamp of approval. Obviously, Disney owns the rights to Gravity Falls, so they can do whatever they want with or without Alex being attached to the project. They can pull whatever shameless cash grab out of their ass. And if that's what happens, they're like, ooh, Gravity Falls season 3, or Gravity Falls the movie, but Alex Hirsch is nowhere to be seen, I will not trust it at all. But if there ever were to be another installment within the Gravity Falls verse that Alex has signed off on, that he is very much involved in the process of making, then it will have my support. But whether that does or doesn't happen, personally, I'm pretty content with all of the recent content between the Book of Bill, This Is Not a Website, and all of the fan-made content that I've been seeing on social media. Alright, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. One of my goals for this year is to watch more of the Disney/Cartoon Network shows that came out in the early to mid 2010s that I haven't seen yet. So like Adventure Time, Over the Garden Wall, Star Versus, Amphibia, even though Amphibia is one of like the later ones, but you know what I mean. So if you guys have any recommendations for shows that came out around that time that I might have missed, feel free to leave them down below in the comments, or for even like newer animated shows. Like recently, I've had my eye on Gentry Chow versus the Underworld. I've also had The Dragon Prince recommended to me that I'm really excited to check out. I'm always looking for new animated shows to watch, so leave any recs that you have in the comments. Once again, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I upload Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, except when I don't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!